Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome to another edition of your beautiful, lovely, precious, goddamn questions. Today they are forsaken. Godforsaken. Sometimes I wonder if YouTube shadow bans these streams because of the religious themes. Maybe the algorithm thinks there's something religious about it and something offensive to Christians, or maybe they think maybe it thinks this is I don't know, this is a mass. I mean, it's Sunday after all, right? Maybe it's a mass for believers and non-believers alike, or for passionate believers. Welcome everybody, thanks for joining. This is I think this is my 60 something, I've done over 60 Q&As, and it's been a blast. Every single one of them has been a blast. So how are you guys? Today? You ready to ask your godforsaken questions? Damn it. We're listening to Yoko Shimomura. I have a poll today. It's just a random poll. I want to know if you guys are more into Falcom music, Trails, East, or Atlus music, Persona, SMT. You know what I mean, right? I'm just going to make a poll about that. How's that? No reason. Maybe I should have made the entire stream, the entire playlist from those companies, but I didn't have time. It was either build up a playlist or shave my freaking face. You should have seen me like an hour ago. He was like, man. I'm gonna see my mom today and my grandmother. Mother's Day is next Wednesday. It's always the 10th of May in Mexico. May 10. I know for other countries, when is it Mother's Day for you people? Is it like the third or the second Sunday of May? When is Mother's Day for you guys? I think every May we have this conversation in the Q&As. My grandmother is 93 years old. Holy shit, man. Yeah. She is on her last ride, man. 93. 93. Holy shit. The third Sunday in May. That's where Cyclone Cat. Wow. You're an old fan. Second Sunday this month. Okay. Why won't you revive that JRPG show? Like in every Q&A I answer that question. I'm going to, but it's probably gonna come back in the form of a podcast. Though I'm still deciding. I know I said that like 3 years ago. I know. And I've been saying that for a long time. I just can't. I just want the podcast to be its own thing. To be original. To be creative. To be politically incorrect. I don't know, man. I really want to do it. But I just don't want it to feel like a replacement for the Q&As. Or like a competition for the Q&As. Like, I want the podcast to be its own thing, and I haven't figured out yet what kind of podcast I want to do and what am I going to do. But it's just going to be me. So let's start with a poll right now, right freaking now. How do I make a poll? Where's the poll option? What's going on here? What the hell? No more polls? Did they remove that option? This is engage with your audience. Start a Q&A. Start a Q&A? Isn't that what I just did? I'm gonna start a Q&A within a Q&A. Start a poll. Best company for JRPG music. Atlus, Falcom. That's it. No Squaresoft, no Namco, No, you're gonna have to decide between those two, and if you don't like any of these two companies, don't vote or do whatever you want. That's it. Because I know people are gonna start bitching about it, like, oh, where's Squaresoft? It just feels like if I put Squaresoft, I know it's unfair not adding Squaresoft, but if I do, everybody's gonna pick it because it's the most famous company, and people are gonna choose Squaresoft out of nostalgia. So no Atlus or Falcom, that's it. And we're listening to something from Atlus right now. There we go. Can I choose? No, I can't. I can't vote. God damn it. I want to manipulate. Okay, somebody voted for Atlus right now. Falcom. Man, it's gonna be a good one. Hey guys. I mean, it's a hard one because both companies are known for having these metal rock, hard rock soundtracks, right? Where Atlus has Persona, has jazz music and all that shit. Yeah. You guys need to decide. How about you start a Q&A in this Q&A with the question, should I do a Q&A? Did you watch the new trailer of Final Fantasy 16? Nope. Have you played Trinity Trigger? Nope. I told the story 2 Sundays ago in the previous Q&A that this random guy reached out to me asking if I wanted to be part of a contest that do challenges with the game, and I told him I don't have a review code, man. Exceed never sends me review codes, so how am I supposed to do challenges on a game that I don't have access to? And I figured that this guy was a bit of a scammer. I don't know if he was. If that guy's watching right now, I don't know who you are. It kind of felt like a scammer, like a scam. Because he said, join this website and apply for the challenges and then you'll get a review code. Oh, and I'm just gonna sit down and suck on my thumb like a freaking ignorant baby and apply. Wow, what are famous games of both? I never look up dev names for games I like. Are you kidding me, man? Atlus is Shin Megami Tensei, Persona, Falcom is Ys, YS, and Trails in the Sky, Trails of Cold Steel. That. What do you think of the gameplay of Ys 10? Well, I uploaded the gameplay and it was successful. It got like 13,000 views on my second channel. I think it looks pretty interesting. There's only 2 party members. And it kind of worries me because we've used to see, ever since Ys 7, we've had like 6 party members or 7 party members or 5 party members, a bunch of characters, a bunch of playable characters. And in this trailer, they only showed gameplay footage of Adol and this other girl, and that's it. So it kind of worries me that the entire game is gonna be just them. It's gonna have to be a badass, awesome game with awesome battle mechanics and awesome music and awesome everything to make up for the lack of party members. I'm kind of worried. I would like to see more party members. I get the feeling we will get more characters, more playable characters, but maybe not. We don't know anything yet. Yeah, apparently the game is going to be released this year in Japan. So we'll probably get it next year. I don't think the rest of the world is gonna get it next year. There's never been an international release, like a joint worldwide release of anything from Falcom in the West. It's always been like it releases first in Japan and then takes a long ass time for us to get it. In East America, it takes forever to localize stuff. So we'll probably get it next year. Hopefully, let me rephrase that. We'll hopefully get it next year. And I'm pretty excited because I'm a big Ys fan. And what I saw in those 10 minutes of gameplay, 8 minutes, it was great. Adol looks okay. He runs kind of weird. Whenever he was like running, jogging, he seems kind of weird. He reminded me of the guy from Suikoden 4. He looks funny when he runs. And then the girl looks a lot like Laxia. You guys remember Laxia from Ys 8? He looks a lot like her, There's an emphasis on her ass, and then she has a ponytail and orange like hair. So I don't know. That kind of like, I was like, maybe they couldn't they have come up with another, I don't know, character design? I mean, she looks a lot like Laxia, right? But anyway, I mean, she's hot. She's cool looking. I don't know what kind of personality she's gonna have. And Doggy is there. I like Doggy. You know, that sounded pretty fucking bad. I like Doggy. Anyway, I like that character, and he was a playable character in East 7, and he's never been a playable character anymore since then. So maybe that's one thing I would like to see in this upcoming game. Doggy as a party member, right? Playable character again after so long. It's been like 10, 12 years since that guy was a party member. Anyway, so hopefully the music is gonna be great. What little I listened to in the gameplay footage, it sounds cool. It sounds Falcom. It sounds like Hayato Sonora and team, except that guy who quit. He was one of the 2 metal heads. So who knows what kind of soundtrack we're gonna get. But the one thing that kind of disappointed me, or, well, you guys know me, I'm not exactly a graphics snob. That's the one thing I care about the least in video games. But I do care. And it just looks like I don't know if they're still using the Fire engine, but the graphics look like East 9 or an 8. I mean, they look a little bit more advanced, you know, in the beginning when they're Saddle talking with Doggy. You know, you can tell the graphics look a little bit better, you know, but they still don't look like next generation or something, you know. Get it, guys? You know, it's Falcom. We need to understand that these guys aren't rich. They aren't Square fucking Enix. They are not Bandai Namco, so they are a AAA company. But still, you know, the graphics could have been better. You know, I think they could have made them look a little bit better. But that's it. I don't have anything else to say. You know, based on the gameplay footage, I'm pretty excited. And I hope we get the game this year or next year, and I hope NIS America doesn't take fucking forever to localize it. So I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm very excited, and I hope it comes to the PS4. I mean, the gameplay footage I showed is on the PS4, right? So there you go. It's probably gonna be there. So I don't have a PS5, and I have no plans on getting a PS5 anytime soon, man. Let's take a look at the poll. Who's winning? Atlus is winning by a whopping 66%. I get the feeling it's because a lot of people haven't played Falcom games yet. I mean, but Persona is way more famous, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are voting Atlus because of Persona. That's okay. If you ask me, Atlus versus Falcom, that's a tough one, man. That's really, I mean, god damn it. I created this poll for you guys because I can't answer this poll myself. Back to your goddamn questions and donations. If only YouTube didn't get 30%, but at least it isn't Twitch. They get half of it. How is Twitch so popular, man? And why are there so many people using Twitch? They keep half of your money. Hey, are you guys Twitchers? I guess that's the term, right? There's YouTubers and there's Twitchers. Any Twitchers out there, convince me. Should I go back to Twitch? What's the point? Why do you use Twitch? What does Twitch have that YouTube doesn't? Because the only thing that I think YouTube beats Twitch on is the percentage. You know, they take the revenue. YouTube keeps 30%, Twitch gets 50%. So it gets more. So why is it more popular than YouTube for streaming? Persona soundtracks is the reason. Yeah, I figured. That's okay. What is your ranking? The new Class 7 characters? The new Class 7 characters? What are you talking about? You're talking about the Kuro no Kiseki? I haven't played those games. I've seen footage, and I've used footage for a couple of my videos, but I don't know the game really. It is easier to get Twitch affiliate than it is to get a YouTube partnership. Okay. I guess that's a legit reason. Twitch is fun with all the emotes and communities. What, YouTube doesn't have any emotes and communities? I don't know. I'm not defending YouTube, you know. I've been pissed off at this website for a long time. And now I'm shadow banned because of that. Every single one of my videos dies off on the third day. YouTube doesn't recommend them anymore. Yeah, they're fucking me up the ass, man. Do you get 100% here? No, I get 70% here. 70%, 70% here. And on Twitch, I get 50. I quit Twitch a long time ago, like 3 years ago. Did you do all the side quests in the Radiant Historia Perfect chronology? I did a bunch of them. I don't remember doing every single one of them, but I did a bunch of them. I did do a bunch of them. You can stream both on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, can't you? Yeah, someone told me that. I don't think my computer can handle streaming on 2 websites at the same time. But yeah, it's doable, it's possible. I've never done that before. My friends recommended Final Fantasy VII for my first JRPG. Do you agree? Well, it's the most popular JRPG of all time alongside Chrono Trigger. People do recommend those 2 often for beginners because that's all they've played. If you talk, these people only know those games and that's it. But still though, the games are kind of a must play. You know, both games are like, you have to play them at some point. And they're good for beginners, to be honest, they are. You know, they're balanced, they aren't that hard, they aren't that easy. You know, so it's not that I want to agree with the general consensus and the majorities out there, but sure. Or you just type my name on YouTube, just type Erick Landon Beginners. Erick Landon Beginners, and you'll see my videos on JRPGs for beginners. You might want to take a few games from those lists into consideration, but yeah, Final Fantasy VII and Chrono Trigger for beginners. I can't not agree. Do you also have a normal job, or is your only income from YouTube? I also have income from Patreon. That's a website that you can click on it. There's a link in the description of this video. If you want to join my Patreon, you can join. And I have Amazon. I sell my books. I'm an author. Link to my books in the description. Self-published books, fiction, fantasy, dark fantasy. Some of them are kind of JRPG inspired, namely the Revenant Army, link in the description. I also have some income from that, but let's say that most of my income comes from my YouTube videos and these Q&As, so yeah. Have you played DNF Duel? I don't know what that is. Do you still have a linked Twitter act? No, I deleted my Twitter. Like I said, like several streams ago, I kind of quit social media. I am no longer on Twitter. My Discord is 100% private now. It's not even on Patreon anymore. And Facebook, my Facebook page is kind of abandoned. I abandoned it. It's still there, you know, but Twitter disappeared. I closed my Twitter account. That was like 5 months ago, I think, like 4 or 5 months ago. You can probably stream on both platforms, Twitch and YouTube at the same time using special software. Yeah, I just said that I don't think my computer can't handle streaming in both. New Class 7 are Arene students in Trails of Cold 3 and 4. Well, I kinda prefer the original Class 7, but I have no preference. You know, because once you play Cold Steel 3 and 4 and finish them, these characters kind of they grow on you, and you kind of like them. But I mean, there's Yuna, and then there's this guy. What was his name? The guy with the what was the guy's name with blue hair? I like that guy. And then there's Altina, and then there's I don't know. I think each character is like a not a counterpart, like the exact same character as before. Yuna and Alisa are almost the same character. Altina and Fie. I mean, you get the idea, right? I mean, there's not much difference in terms of personalities. Kurt Vander, thanks, man. I've only played the demo of this Gaia 6, so I can't talk much about it. What was your first console you bought with your own money, and what games with it? That was the PlayStation 1. Because the NES was a gift. from my aunt. The Game Boy was a gift from our cousin. The Super Nintendo was a gift from another aunt. And so with my own money, I bought a PlayStation 1. A used PlayStation 1. Yeah, I think it was around 2006. Was it 2006? I think it was 2006. I was 20 years old. I was about to be 21. And my friend, he wanted to get an Xbox. Yeah, sure, the PlayStation 3 and the 360 were just around the corner. But this is Mexico. We were poor. Back then, nobody bought consoles at launch. Nobody. Most people used to wait a few years, to get the newest console. So the PS2 and the Xbox and the GameCube were still trending a lot here. So my friend wanted to buy an Xbox, an original Xbox, and he didn't want the PlayStation anymore. And he had a bunch of like 30 games, like 30 plus games. Obviously, majority of them were pirated copies, bootleg copies, and the PlayStation 1 was hacked. And I think he said he wanted like, I don't know how much money was it back then, the equivalent to today, but back then I paid $30 for it. The equivalent of $30. I paid 600 Mexican pesos back then, but keep in mind I'm talking about 2006. That's a long time ago. I'm not sure how much that is. I'm not sure how much that is in today's money. But yeah. And I got a lot of games. I got all the Resident Evil games. Well, actually no, most of them. I don't think Resident Evil 2 was in there. Only 1 and 3. And there was a Dino Crisis 1 and 2. There was a Crash Bash and Crash Team Racing. I became a huge fan of those games. None of the original regular platforming games, Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3, they weren't there. I had to get them separately. There were no RPGs. There were some fighting games, a Marvel vs. Capcom, a Pocket Fighter was there, Silent Hill, and what else? I think I forget, what else was there. Some sports games that I got rid of. What else was there? Fuck. Well, the point is that that's it. That was the first console that I paid with my own money. And don't make me go into the story on how I got into RPGs. Do you have a Switch? Yes, I do. What are you talking about? You should know that you're a big fan of this channel, right? You should know that I have a Switch. I've owned a Switch for like 3 years. More, like 4 years. I've owned a Switch for like 4 years already. Yes, I have a Switch. Are you an avid fan of platformers? Yeah, I mean, if you were born during the same era, if you're from my generation, I was born in the 80s, I was born in 1985. I mean, all of us grew up, all gamers from this era grew up with platformers, run and guns, beat 'em ups. What kind of gamer from this generation isn't a fan of those games? It's impossible not to be. So yeah, I was an avid fan of platformers. Do you think Yoshi P will save Square? I don't even know who that is, Wasn't that the guy who said something about JRPGs that pissed people off, and now everybody was calling JRPGs, the J was racist and whatever. And I didn't play Harvestella. Have you ever considered moving to Rumble? Heard they are a lot less draconian than YouTube. I need Rumble to be just as big as YouTube. What the hell am I gonna do in Rumble, man? There's no money in there. Am I gonna get... how many subscribers do I have? Like 94,000? Am I gonna get 94,000 on Rumble overnight? Did you mod your Switch? No, I haven't modded my Switch. I don't know if I can do that. I don't think I'm gonna do that. You wanna know why? It's because I get review codes, and if I mod my Switch, I don't know if I'll be able to connect online anymore without Nintendo knowing and breaking my console or banning my console. So I will need to get another Switch, a second Switch, and mod that Switch. I don't wanna risk it, man. Hey Eric, what is your favorite SMT game? That'll be Devil Survivor. any version, especially the 3DS version. That's the best version to play of that game. But yeah, Devil Survivor, man, that's my favorite Shin Megami Tensei. After the PS2, piracy on video games reduced a lot in Mexico. A lot of people now buy original games, which is great, but why do you think that happened so suddenly? I think it's just because people, the collecting trend exploded worldwide. I think that's the reason. And it's also because, newer consoles became much harder to hack. I mean, the PS1, the PS2 were easy as fuck to hack. And then the PS3 came into existence. And then, the Wii U, the Switch, back then when they came out, it was freaking hard to hack them. And now it's kind of easy. Well, I don't know. But that's another reason why it just became difficult to hack consoles. But I think the main reason is because of YouTube, because of the internet, because collecting got so big that now a lot of people just want to do it. And also in Mexico, the third reason is probably because, people see it as a business. Oh, I think it's the same case in every country out there, but, in here it's like, okay, I don't want to collect video games, but I'm going to buy them. And I know it's easy to resell something nowadays. Back then, you bought an original game and no one will buy it from you except gamers or Game Planet. Oh, those places, right? I mean, I assume you're from Mexico. And nowadays, it's just much easier to do business with original video games. You buy them and you resell them or trade them or post them on the marketplace in Facebook or I don't know. And it's just... those are the reasons why I think, piracy kind of went down here in Mexico. Any Tears of the Kingdom hype here? Tears of the Kingdom? What's that? Did you guys watch I didn't watch the trailer, but I'm pretty sure it was going to confuse a lot of people. There's this game called Chrono Odyssey. The trailer was posted on a few days ago, and I think it confused a lot of people, where everybody was like, oh, and finally a new Chrono game. Nope, it had nothing to do with it. Oscar! Thanks for joining, man. You are so close to 100,000 subscribers. I'm getting there. I hope you get the YouTube play button pretty soon. Yeah, me too, man. Hey, nice to see you here, man. Glad to have you here. Thanks for joining. I kinda stopped giving a damn about the algorithm, so it's gonna take me a while to get there, to get to 100,000. I've seen people when they're about to get to 100,000 or 500,000 or 1 million subscribers, and I've seen YouTubers like getting stressed out a lot. I mean, it really puts a lot of pressure on you. And last year, I'm not gonna lie, I felt that pressure. I was like, man, I'm slowly getting to 90,000 subscribers. And this year, when I hit 90,000, I was like, man, what am I gonna do? It just puts that pressure on you, that stress on you. And I was like, you know what? It isn't healthy. And I noticed it was kind of fucking me up a bit. So I decided to stop giving a shit about it. I mean, don't take me wrong, I do want to get to 100,000 subscribers. If you guys want to help me do that, because I know a lot of you watch my videos and are not subscribed, because you're like, what's the point? I'm still gonna watch his videos. Come on, guys, it's a button. Click the button, and in a year or so, cancel it. I don't care. All I care is that you guys have a good time and watch my videos. But right now, I need you to click the fucking button. Anyway, I'm not gonna stress over reaching that number. I mean, it's very stressful, and I have been shadow banned in YouTube for like the past 2 months for no reason. I noticed that a lot of my videos get a lot of views during the first 2 days. I mean, they reach like 20,000 views in like 2 days, and then on the third day, YouTube fucking kills them. Like, they get like 2,000 views, and they go on from there. I feel like I'm grounded. I'm being punished. Well, I don't know what's going on, but I mean, with YouTube treating poor me like this, I'm not gonna worry. It's a complicated matter. Deep inside, deep down, I do care, but I'm trying not to care that much. I watched an interview from your favorite YouTuber Oscar, Pat the NES Punk. He interviewed the gaming historian, and he explained the enormous pressure and stress he went through trying to reach 1 million subscribers. And I know I can't compare, 1 million, it's a lot. You're famous. At that point, you're freaking famous. You're a celebrity, right? But the message was the same, that if you stress a lot over that, it's unhealthy. And once you reach that number, it's just, he said that it wasn't that special, that like nothing changed. So I don't know. But will you make a special video or event with the community when you reach 100,000 subscribers? Well, a long time ago, people were always saying that I should do a video called Top 10 Best Only in Japan RPGs when I reached 100,000. I don't think that video is going to get a lot of views because it's a video about games that most people are not going to play because they're only in Japan. But maybe I'll do it. But I'll probably do a stream or a Q&A or something. I'll do something. That's a promise. I'll do something. I just haven't decided what specifically. Attack! Oh, the video about the worst Nintendo DS JRPGs. I kind of got a little bit shadow banned too because of every video that I do with swearing. It's like, man, why can't these guys just chill? Let us say fuck. There's no harm in it. 10-year-old kids say fuck all the time. God, come on, YouTube. Oh, well, I guess another reason why the Nintendo DS video didn't get a lot of attention is because I don't think the Nintendo DS is trending right now. I think a lot of people just don't care about the console, especially not since a lot of its RPGs went up in price and are hard to find. It's insane, right? And then there's the fact that in the video I used this Miume format to record gameplay footage. This Miume is the Nintendo DS emulator, and it just shows like this. You're watching. Let me put something in here. Well, you get the idea, right? How do I... whatever. It's just this. This is the full screen, right? Right here. So I'm only using this part of the screen, right? Vertical. To show gameplay footage. Okay? So I'm pretty sure a lot of you watch my videos on your phones. And watching that on your phone is like, man, I can't see shit. So they probably turned the video off. Mr. Face, thanks a bunch. He says, I wish it was more because you helped me through some tough times. Just wanted to say thank you and love your videos, especially that blooper video. What, that blooper video? That was a long time ago, man. Wow, that was ages ago. I haven't done another blooper video. Maybe I should do one more. Thanks a bunch, man. You're gonna get more. Didn't I say so in the last stream? It's over, man. I don't give a fuck about the algorithm anymore. I'm gonna keep making rage quit videos. Are going to come back. I'm gonna do them more often. These worst JRPG videos, overall rant and rage videos are going to be more often now. Because you know what? You can't win. No matter what you do, you can't win on YouTube. So might as well swear in my fucking videos. I'm gonna get shadow banned anyway. Anyway, Atlus still winning the poll with 67%. Falcom with 33%. I think the outcome is obvious. We're gonna do this for 30 more minutes, but I think the outcome is obvious. I doubt Falcom is gonna pick up and compete with Atlus. Atlus is simply more famous. Persona is more famous. I think I made a mistake with this poll. What is my favorite Phantasy Star? Phantasy Star 4. Who is your most favorite underrated JRPG villain? Underrated. I guess, I don't know why the first one that came into my mind right now is The End on Lost Dimension. I think it's a pretty good villain. Pretty interesting antagonist. So you know what? That's my pick. What is your favorite video from your channel or your least favorite? That's an interesting question. My favorite video, I don't know. I mean, how can I answer that? I'm the one making those videos. Oh, man. I wish I could say it was the top 100 JRPGs so far. It used to be called of all time, but it's been like 4 years since that video, so I changed the title to So Far. But I'll never forget that. I'll never forgive myself for missing number 8. I had a lot of pressure when doing that video, and I kind of rushed it. I did the video in like 3 days, and it went through development hell, production hell. Long story. But the truth is that the point is that I missed number 8. There was no number 8 in the video, and I'll never forgive myself for that. I think most people don't care because I put a comment in there and saying, "Oh, I missed number 8, so what would it be?" And I think I remember picking Bloodborne because there wasn't a single From Software RPG in the list, so I put Bloodborne as not exactly an honorable mention, like the true number 8 that I missed. And on my script, Bloodborne was there, written as number 8. But I like the video, but I just can never forgive myself for fucking up that. I don't know. One video that I like a lot is some of the 10 things you didn't know about are amongst my favorite videos because I made them exactly the way I like to watch them. And I really liked the Suikoden 5 video. I don't know why, but probably because of the music. 10 things you didn't know about Suikoden 5. 10 things you didn't know about Xenosaga Trilogy. That's one of my favorites too. Those are among my favorite videos, I think. The Nocturne video was amazing. It was a massive failure of a video, but I love it. It's one of my favorite videos that I've done. And what else is there? I like the top 50s a lot, the top 50 best PS2 JRPGs. I love that video, I don't know why. It's a 20-minute long video with 50 JRPGs covered, and it just felt more natural. If you watch that video, that's the pacing and the scripting and the editing. That's what I was aiming for when I did the top 100. I don't think you're gonna understand this unless you're a content creator. But let's just say that top 50 was like an improved version of the top 100, even though it was only focused on PS2. Anyway, it's hard to answer what are my favorite videos. And my least favorite videos are probably some of the most of the really old ones, the 2017 ones. Most of my reviews in Spanish, the slideshows. I mean, the slideshows have a lot of freaking views, but I watch them and I'm like, man, how can I mean, why did I do this? Just images, low quality images, and just freaking music, and that's it. I mean, if I could go back in time, knowing that some of those slideshow videos will get viral and get a lot of views, I would have done a much better job, right? If I could go back, I will do better. So those are my least favorite videos. They are a part of my history. They are part of this channel's history. But those are like I mean, I wasn't even trying back then. I didn't give a shit. I wasn't making any money. I was like, man, why am I gonna bother? Getting a good camera or a good microphone or a good computer, a good editing software. I wasn't making any money back then. And the quality and the production values of those videos is like, man, I watch them and like I cringe. I know you guys like them, but I just don't. What videos were you proud of that never got much views, and which videos you feel weren't good but got a ton of views? I'm not gonna answer the second question because it feels like it's not your intention, but I will probably be shooting myself in the foot if I answer that. But the first question I want to answer, what videos I'm proud of that didn't get a lot of views. Half of the 10 things you didn't know about series. Half of them. Star Ocean: The Second Story, Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2, Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, Radiant Historia, Tales of Berseria. I love those videos. I love making them, and when I watched them, I was like, man, I feel proud of these videos. I love doing them, and I think they turn out to be pretty good and pretty interesting, but most people just didn't give a fuck about them. So that's the best answer I can give. It just breaks my heart. And other videos are probably the worst JRPGs series. Those videos aren't that hard to do, but I try to make them funny and entertaining, and I try to give legit reasons why I dislike the games in those videos, but they always get shadow banned. So that's YouTube killing those videos, not you guys. But I'm proud of those videos, but nothing can compare to some of the 10 things you didn't know about. I've also done a lot of some review videos that didn't get a lot of views, like the Atelier Ryza one or the Triangle Strategy most recently. It seems that half of the reviews that I do don't get a lot of views because I don't do reviews more often. I think most people watch my channel because of the top 10s or the ranking videos or the tier lists. But there's a bunch of reviews that I've done in the past that when I watched them, I was proud. Triangle Strategy was one of my favorites, but it didn't get a lot of views. I get it, you know, the game wasn't trending anymore. It was almost a year old, but still, you know, That's my answer. Do you agree that in this generation we need more great old-style JRPGs? Why would you say that when nearly every single indie RPG is pretty much old-style JRPG? I think it's the other way around. We're getting a lot of them. But I get what you mean. You're asking about AAA or AA companies, right? Not indies. Like the big companies like Square Enix and Bandai Namco. Why aren't we getting more old style? Because it's not old anymore. I mean, these companies can't do retro for the rest of their lives. I mean, they are evolving. They're doing something different, you know? Because if they went back to making JRPGs in the old style, then half of the world will complain and say, oh, can you move on from this, please? Can you make more? So nowadays I feel like we're getting some kind of balance. There's a lot of old school style JRPGs. Technology is evolving too. I mean, it's just these guys need to get on with the trends and need to get on with what's current and try to exploit technology as much as they can. It's a good conversational topic, you know. It's kind of controversial and it's kind of... I too have mixed feelings about it. But I feel like we're getting a good, solid balance nowadays. You know, these AAA impressively graphical JRPGs. But we're also getting games like somebody mentioned Octopath Traveler, you know, Bravely Default. And a lot of indie RPGs, like I mentioned, are pretty much old school style. So, I don't know. Maybe you need to find those games, those old school games, and play them. And forget about Final Fantasy 16. Shan Yuan Sword 7. That's a great game. Yeah, it's a great game. You know, I want to finish it. Because right now, you know, I'm playing Death End Request 2. I just finished the first one, and I jumped immediately to the sequel. And I want to talk about them soon. I want Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters. Me too, because that's the version that has all 6 of them, right? I want to get that physical version too. And the Mysterious Trilogy. What game is that is hard to get for your collection? There's a lot of games on my wish list that are hard to get. But let's limit this to modern games, because if I want to go back to retro games, there's a lot of them that I didn't get and that I want. Like Oscar, if you're still watching, you have some of them. Yeah, you know, the Art on Elico special editions that I have. Manakemia 1 and 2. Vanguard Bandits, I've never owned that. A lot of working designs, RPGs. I never got Ark the Lad collection, but those games are expensive as fuck. A modern game that I want and I don't have in my collection that I really, really want. I kinda would like to own the first Blue Reflection. I mean, I don't know. I own the second one digital, and I've been looking for it. I've been eyeing it on Amazon. But it's the Switch version. The version that I want from Blue Reflection 2 is the PS4 version. And the version that I saw that went down in price was the PAL version on the Switch. And it's been like $30. I think it's $30 right now. And you're probably thinking, $30 for a rare game? I mean, Blue Reflection 2 is gonna go up in price at some point, and it's never going to come down. But I just don't want to pay $30 for the version that I don't want. I want the PS4 version, but the PS4 version is expensive. You know, most of the games that I want right now, modern ones, are either they'll go down in price soon, like Octopath Traveler 2 or Fire Emblem Engage. I actually gotta be patient. And others, you know, that came out last year or 2 years ago, like Sakuna of Rise and Ruin, Soul Hackers 2, Tales of Arise. They're kind of cheap right now, but I'm gonna wait because I know for a fact they're gonna get cheaper. Oh, I need Remy Lore. That's a game I search every now and then on Amazon. It's called Remy Lore by Nicalis. But Nicalis, God, Nicalis is always expensive. I missed my chance with Code of Princess on the Switch. I remember when I was in Canada, this guy had it for, well, back then it was like 40 Canadian dollars. And I thought it was too much. And now it's freaking 100 and something dollars. What an idiot, right? God damn it. Has that ever happened to you? Has that ever happened to you guys? That you walk up to a store or Amazon, you know, you look up on Amazon, something like that, eBay, and you see a game and it's like, okay, this game is like 40 right now, but I think it's too much. And then next year, you wait, never goes down. And the next time you see it, like $100, $80, and you're like, why the fuck didn't I get it when it was 40? That's happened to me a lot of times. So I'll probably get that Blue Reflection 2 on the Switch. Even if it's not the version that I like to own, I don't care, it's something, you know, I'm owning the game. At some point, I'll get it. Right now, I just have other priorities. But yeah. Remy Lore on the Switch or PS4, that's my most sought after rare modern RPG. Yeah, the first Blue Reflection. Can't think of another one right now. Anyway, when do you think modern video game prices will no longer drop lower? Well, they aren't dropping anymore, man. I don't think we'll ever get to that. But with Nintendo, you never know. You never know with Nintendo exclusives, right? These games rarely go down in price and they stick to their guns. I mean, Octopath, Xenoblade, you often, very rarely see them on sale. They're always like $50, $40. That's insane. But no, I don't think that's ever gonna happen, Kiss. I think we will always get new games, modern games, and then eventually they'll have to drop in price a bit. And then after a few years, they'll retain their price. Some of them, not all of them. Usually the AAA, the big ones, multi-platform games, I think it's a guarantee they will always go down in price at some point. But then, you know, for example, I don't know, Octopath Traveler 2, I don't think it's gonna go up in price because they printed millions of copies, millions. So I don't think it's gonna go up in price or retain a high price forever. Maybe in 10 years, maybe in 20 years, I don't know. It's gonna take a long time. How well did your new Hidden Gem, Hidden Trash video do? It did as expected, you know. Back 3 years ago, there wasn't a lot of interest in the series, and I knew that now there still wouldn't be a lot of interest. I mean, it's a series that a lot of people just don't care for because it's a series a lot of people don't look for. You know, it just doesn't appear on the search, on a user's searches I don't know what I'm trying to explain it in English. People don't search for it. You know, it's not a known popular series. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring it back to make it popular. It's going to take me a long time to make it popular. But what I want to do is for people to start searching for it. So therefore, it will start appearing on searches. When you type on your search engine, Hidden Gem or Hidden Trash, you know, and it's going to be there. And obviously, since that's the case with this series right now, it's not getting recommended by YouTube to the average user, to the average viewer that only watches like 1 out of 10 videos that I do, or 2, or not even 1, right? So, but it did all right. It did as expected. I was expecting between 15 to 20,000 views, and right now it has like 22,000 views. That's good enough for me to make a new episode, and new episode coming soon. It's a good series, you know. It's gonna take me a long time to make it popular, but I'm not gonna give up. Did you play Crimson Gem Saga for the PSP? That is a good game. It's very grindy. I never beat it. I remember I didn't rage quit on it. More like I gave up. I was like, man, it's just taking forever to grind. I got stuck in this dungeon. I didn't get very far. I was like 10 hours into it. Probably 8 to 10 hours. It was aeons ago. And but it's a really good game. Korean RPG. And it's a sequel to a game called Astonisha Story that's kinda bad. In fact, Crimson Gem Saga's real name is Astonisha Story 2. But I think they changed the name overseas because the first one was a failure and they wanted to tell people, hey, this is another game. Nothing to do with that failure. No, it's a new one. Rusland RPG Gacha? Seriously, Gacha? I just started streaming on Twitch. Any tips? I was just saying that I quit Twitch 3 years ago. I can give you tips on streaming on YouTube, but on Twitch, things have changed a lot, I think, for streamers in there, and I have no idea. I don't know what to tell you, man. You're asking the wrong guy. I don't stream on Twitch. I don't know what to say. I can give you tips on streaming as a streamer anywhere. Doesn't matter, Twitch, YouTube. But streaming specifically on Twitch, I can't give you any advice because I don't know how things work anymore in there. All I know is that they keep 50% of your revenue. So if you get $10, you're only going to get 5. Keep that in mind. And overall tips for streamers. I quit streaming too on YouTube last year. I'll be back, don't worry. I kind of want to get back, probably this year. But my tips will be just be yourself. If you try too hard to entertain people or make them laugh, they're going to know it, they're going to notice, you know. Just be yourself. Be you, stream, talk about whatever you want to talk. Do not, if you're gonna stream modern games with story, don't talk when the characters are talking because everything is voice acted nowadays. Unless you put the volume really low, turn the volume down whenever characters are speaking in the video game. And maybe show your face. I've never shown my face before in streams. People like seeing people's faces, reactions. So maybe do that. Be an activist. Tips for streaming on Switch. Be an activist. Don't be that. It's just a joke. I tried streaming Final Fantasy IV last week and got no viewers. Basically in a 6-hour stream. Well, you're a new guy. You're starting, man. You're not gonna get a lot of viewers on your first tries. You're gonna keep trying. You gotta tell your friends or more people that you're streaming. You gotta use social media, man. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Tell people that you're streaming, and little by little, you'll start growing an audience. what RPG you're most excited for this year? Hey, Yuden Chronicle 2. I'm excited for the Suikoden remasters, but I think the original games look fantastic. I don't think they needed a remaster, more like they just needed a modern port. So I'm happy for you guys. I have the games and I can play them anytime, and they look beautiful on the place on wherever I play them. But I'm more excited about Yuden Chronicle. Have you played any Persona spin-offs like the dancing games? I fucking hate the dancing games, so I'm not gonna play those, never. But I've played a bunch of Persona spin-offs. I'm a die-hard fan of the Persona 4 arena games, the fighting games. Massive fan of those games. And I played Persona Q 1 and 2. I finished the first one. Never beat the second one, but they're pretty solid games. And that's it. I don't think I have played other Persona spin-offs. What else is there besides Persona Q, Persona 4 Arena, and the dancing games? Is there another one? Are there more? Fucking t-shirt. Too many people are streaming for money. I miss when YouTube was more genuine and gamers did it out of passion for this hobby. What the hell do you mean, man? I do this for the money, but if I was doing YouTube only for the money... I know your comment wasn't aimed at me, I know that, but I want to say that I'm doing YouTube for the money. Everything I do is for the money, but it's not only for the money. I do it out of passion because I love the hobby. If I did it only for the money, boy, things will be very different. I will be sponsored a lot. You got every single one of my videos will be opened by Gatorade. Just released this new product. Buy it. Link in the description below. Blah 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 blah. And you get this free coupon for buying. Every single one of my videos will be sponsored. And I will also do. I wouldn't swear. I will abide by the rules. Behave. Be politically correct. And never have an honest opinion. I will do that. If I was doing YouTube or streaming only for the money, I will do that. I wouldn't be myself. How is Persona 5 port on Switch? I don't know. I've heard good things about it. That it was great. That it was a good port, but I haven't played it. Personally, I like stream better than video. Oh, I like both, but I feel like I'm doing... I just like making videos more, scripting stuff, editing stuff, coming up with ideas, digest those ideas. You know, that's what I like. I like streaming too, but streaming is there's a lot of problems. I find myself very limited. I depend on if my neighbors are doing something noisy, or if it's getting too hot and I gotta open the doors. But if I open the doors, because I lock myself in a room whenever I'm streaming. Right now my doors are locked, and the noise you're hearing apart from the music and my lousy voice is the fan. It's over there. I don't think you can see it. No. Anyway, so if it's getting too hot, I'm gonna have to open the doors. But if I open the doors, there's a lot of echo on the microphone. It's just, man, and that stresses me out. I like streaming, but I prefer making videos. I do not swear, but my channel is 18 plus, so I can perv out on waifus. I wouldn't do that if I was making this only for the money. I wouldn't show fan service in my videos. So I always do. Not in the thumbnails. Oh, the music, the boss battle theme for Sea of Stars. This is good. Can't wait for this game. Something weird is happening with Fuga Melodies of Steel 2. Something very weird. Usually, companies send YouTubers and content creators like 1 or 2 weeks before their game comes out, right? And I've been getting a lot of press kits and information from Fuga 2 Melodies of Steel, which is going to be released next Thursday in 4 days. And I asked the guy, hey, You're sending all this stuff to me, but I don't see a review code. Am I gonna get one or what? And he stopped replying. Or if you type right now, Fuga Melodies of Steel 2 review. On YouTube, there's none. Not a single one. The game is going to be released in 4 days. And there isn't a single review yet of Fuga Melodies of Steel 2. What the hell? We're getting a review code on its release date? Maybe, right? I hope you guys are looking forward to that game, because the first game is amazing. Amazing. It's developed by CyberConnect 2. You guys know that company, right? They created the .hack series, .hack GU, and a bunch of Naruto games. They also did Sola to Robo, Tail Concerto. I'm gonna end the poll right now, because, I mean, Atlus is just not gonna go down. Atlus won the poll, guys. 66%, Falcom 33%. I knew Atlus will win because of Persona. I should have put Shin Megami Tensei music, but then people will be confused and vote for Shin Megami Tensei, because a lot of people think Persona is Shin Megami Tensei. And it kinda is in a way, but not really, because... Anyway. Do you feel like JRPG lets players walkthroughers? I've never heard that term before. Walkthroughers are slowly dying out on YouTube. I don't know, because I always use walkthroughs on GameFAQs or wherever. I don't think they're dying, no. Maybe on YouTube, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know, man. That's a good question. I don't know. I've never thought about that. Are there any strategy JRPG guides that you recommend? And no, because I don't use them. I always use walkthroughs online. To be honest, if you are female, you can stream any game. Why? People will join. Pretty weird. Well, if you're a pretty girl and you're showing off, maybe. I don't know. I've seen girls that are pretty and they're kind of showy and they don't get a lot of views. I don't know why. If you're playing in a hot tub, you win anyway. I don't think girls have it any easier when it comes to streamer, unless they sexualize themselves in some way or another. Maybe. I don't watch streamers. I think the only streamer that I watch, and I don't watch him on Twitch, is Mike Matei, because I've been a fan of that guy since Cinemassacre, since 2011. And I like his rage videos, his rage compilations. I saw your worst DS RPGs video. I know mobile games that look better than Ys game. Yeah, thanks, man. That Ys game is just, what is there? I mean, just look at it. It's a game that needs no explanation. I don't need to explain people why the game is bad. Just look at it. What the fuck? How can Falcom... Why? What? What? How did that game come into existence in the first place? If I interview... what's the name of the director? The Falcom director? Ah, man. I made a false call in my video. It was a dumbass joke in the review from 3 years ago. Anyway, if I ever get to interview that guy, I'm gonna ask him that. Like, what the hell were you thinking? Why did you lend the Ys name to these guys? Maybe he's a big fan of Age of Empires, I don't know. Are you gonna give it a chance someday to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom? Oscar, you're still here. Breath of the Wild. Didn't we play that at your house a long time ago? I'd like to give it a chance, yes. But you know me, it's a Zelda game, so I'm not gonna pay $40 for it. And I doubt it's gonna come down in price. Maybe if one day I see it for like 20 or less, I'll buy it and I'll give it a try. And if I like it, then I'll play Tears of the Kingdom. But you know me, man, I'm not a Zelda fan. I mean, I really need the game to be like very cheap, so I can force myself to pay money for a Zelda, for a series that I don't like, and maybe I'll like it. I still have my copy of A Link to the Past, and I promised myself that one of these days I will go back to it. But that I made that promise like 5 years ago. I will. Have you played through the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC yet? No, I haven't. Mike Matei streams on Twitch are funny as hell. Really? I only watch his rage compilations. Are you friends with other RPG YouTubers? No, not really. Will you check out Trinity Trigger? I'm friends. I like to think that I'm friends with Isha. I'm still in touch with Isha Gaming. Will you check out Trinity Trigger? I don't know. Probably in the future when the price drops. I told my story on Trinity Trigger before, how this random guy reached out, and just don't want to repeat myself. Do you know Fallout? Of course I know Fallout. What kind of question is that? I know this question isn't video game related, but do you know about anime movies? The anime movie Slam Dunk? No. Never heard of it. I don't keep I don't know anything about the theaters anymore. I don't like going to the movies anymore because everything is so politicized, and almost every single movie has to have something political in it, some kind of message, some kind of correctness in there that is forced, and I don't like that. It used to be better before. But now forcing movie directors and writers to do things by the book, but nowadays it's book, kind of pisses me off, and it shows, and it's horrible. It used to be better before. I haven't watched Chainsaw Man. Movies all have agendas nowadays. Yeah, exactly. It's just, man, they feel fake, man. Funniest game of all time is Catherine Full Body. It is a funny game. I have it on PS3. It's a very funny game. I didn't find that game that hilarious, but it's funny. I never beat it. The Revenant All Army will be adopted into a tactical RPG, but the developer will be Kemco. Well, beggars can't be choosers, man. I wouldn't like it to be Kemco. And Kemco is not a developer well, they are a developer, but they don't develop those RPGs. They just publish them. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have the luxury to say no. Because in the first place, for starters, who the hell will want to turn my books into RPGs? Beggars can't be choosers, man, and if one of those little teams from Kemco is gonna do it, maybe. I mean, they're fine. They aren't bad games. People are too harsh on Kemco, man. It's become such a meme. What are some of your favorite JRPG villains? I've never done that video. I found villains to be kind of cliche because they're always... I mean, we don't get to see a lot of them. I miss villains like... what was the guy's name in Breath of Fire 4? You actually get to play as that guy every chapter, and you learn more about this guy, and in the end, when you're about... Well, I don't want to spoil the game, but that's a great use of a villain, of an antagonist. And then there's the overrated ones like Luca Blight from Suikoden 2, Sephiroth, Kuja, the Final Fantasy ones. They're kind of overrated. I like Beatrix. Beatrix from Final Fantasy IX is not exactly a villain, but well, she is for half of the game, and that was a great use of another villain. Fulu, thanks. I like when villains are multidimensional, when you get to know them better, and you kind of understand their motives, even if you don't agree. You know, like with Alice from Seven Shadows, a certain book you can find in the description of this stream. A lot of people hate Alice, but that's the kind of villain that I want, you know. You're seeing why they became the way they are and why they're doing it. Sometimes these people are not crazy. Sometimes villains are not really evil. They're just doing the exact opposite of what people do nowadays. No, that doesn't make any sense. Let's just read. Have you read The Revenant Army? In The Revenant Army, in my book, I gotta promote my books, man. There's barely any villains in there. I mean, the main antagonists are not evil at all. They just have a different mentality on how to do things and how to govern and how to command and conquer, you know, than the good guys. There are no real bad or good guys in my book. You know, it's just different people with different perspectives. So that's what I like in a villain. And I think a lot of villains in JRPGs are very cliche. They always make them overly tragic or overly evil or typical ancient evil, or, you know, they go the Persona way, that the character went through some psychological stuff and went nuts and broke, and it's just that. It's just, I think we've gotten a lot of misunderstood villains. A lot of them. Hey Glenn. The Record of Agar is war. The record. Oh yeah. Record of Agar is war. We don't have your book there. Yeah, I know, man. It's just fucking stupid. I don't understand why my book can't be available in every country in the world. I don't know why. I tried looking into it and all I found was people saying, well, you can't, then Amazon won't give you any explanation. Like, why? Why can't people from the Netherlands or other countries have my book available on Amazon in their country? Like, why? I don't know, man. I'm sorry about that. That's right. My favorite RPGs are Chrono Cross and Valkyrie Profile 2. My favorite on the PS3 is Nier. The original, Gestalt. With the old guy, with Daddy Nier. That's my favorite PS3 game of all time. I think I did a video called My Favorite JRPG on Every Console. It was a long time ago. Over 4 years ago, and I showed no gameplay footage in the entire video because I wasn't expecting the video to get views, and it did get, back then it was a lot of views. I think it got like 20, 30, whatever thousand views. Yeah, check it out, guys, if you haven't watched it. I don't think things have changed that much. I still have, PS1 Chrono Cross, PS2 Valkyrie, Silmeria, PS3 Nier, PS4, I don't know yet because the console is still releasing games. I don't know which is my favorite PS4 JRPG. My god, man. PS4 it's insane. It has like almost 150 more, like 200 JRPGs. The PlayStation 4 and the Switch are officially the consoles with more JRPGs in history. Localized, available outside of Japan, with an English translation. Damn it. I don't know if I'll ever be able to decide a favorite JRPG on Switch or PS4 or PS4. It's fucking crazy, man. But yeah. Watch that video. What version is incredibly buggy and glitchy? Phantasy Star 4 is my favorite JRPG on the Genesis. Fuck this game with this song, this soundtrack. It's just a 20-second loop Yeah, the overworld theme from the first Ninja Turtles. Dragon Quest XI, that will be a great one, but I don't think so. No, I'm not really excited for Final Fantasy 16. I know for a fact I'm not gonna play it. Somebody asked something about most people forget one of my PS1 hidden gems, Kudelka. Yeah, I mean, I just think Kudelka was a great idea. It had a lot of I think it's wasted potential. It was in my top 10 wasted potential JRPGs for a reason. I think it's just gameplay wise, it had a lot of problems. I mean, random encounters in a game with slow navigation and tank controls. And that's not to say those random encounters were like a grid-based, turn-based system that was slow as hell. It's just, I'm sorry, man. I don't think it's a hidden gem. It's not a bad game, but it's like Monarch. It's a game full of major problems. That's just my opinion, though. No, I don't think it's a product of its time. It's just nobody wants to admit that Kudelka is a game with problems, with technical issues. I think the Dragon Quest III remake is going to be released this year. Maybe. Then if Atlus makes the Revenant army, but it's brokenly hard and grindy, oh man. Well, I'm just the author. You know, I don't have a say in that. I can ask them. I can say, Atlus, please don't make my game stupidly difficult, or at least add an easy mode. The Revenant Army easy mode. How will you spend your next weekend? I have no idea, man. Why are you asking that? What problems do you see in Monarch? Oh man, I'm not gonna answer that. Dude, there's like 10 videos that I've done already explaining the problems that I saw in Monarch. Go watch one of them. I don't want to talk about Monarch anymore, I'm tired. I gotta give that game a break. I seriously have to. No, Mother's Day is Wednesday for us. Here in Mexico, there's a date. It's always been on May 10. It's different for other countries. But we're celebrating Mother's Day next Wednesday. There was a game with Revenant from Square. I don't remember the full title name. There's a series of games called Revenant Saga. Revenant Dogma or whatever, from Kemco. I know those games. But Revenant, I'm from Square. Why the fuck are Grandia 1 and 2 remasters only on Switch? I don't know either. I don't know why we didn't get them on the PlayStation 4. That's the last remnant. Remnant. That's not Revenant. It's different. Well, I guess a remnant is similar. It's not exactly a synonym to Revenant, but it's similar, yeah. The last remnant, yeah. You excited for the new Fantasy Life on Switch? I played the 3DS game, but I didn't finish it. It's a good game. It can get pretty addictive. I think I did a video on why I kind of stopped playing portable systems. I just got burned out, I guess. So I don't think I'll be back to Fantasy Life, the first one, in a long time, but maybe. So I can't say that I'm excited for it. I'd love to give it a chance, maybe to stream it and review it in a video. I'm not gonna stream it, I'm lying, but review it in a video. I got Duck Upon Kingdom, the remaster, and I'll cover it soon. There's probably a hidden gem or hidden trash new episode coming up soon, guys. I hope you are excited for that. New episode coming soon. Hidden gem or hidden trash? Have you played the Metroid Prime Remaster remake? Is it out yet? And no, I don't like first-person games. So I'm not gonna play those. Would you ever sell your gaming collection? Oof. If I had a necessity, an economical necessity, then yes, I will probably sell it. I've gone through this before, 2 times. Oscar, are you still there? I sold him a bunch of my games from my collection out of necessity because I was going to move to the UK. And I did go to the UK. But my entire collection, I don't think I could ever do that. Man, I could sell, I don't know, a big chunk of it out of necessity. But all of it, every single one of them, nah. Oh man. I mean, can you imagine me selling my copy of Chrono Cross or Suikoden 2, Valkyrie Profile, my big ass special edition of Odin Sphere, my Xenogears copy, my Xenosaga 3 copy, no man, Suikoden 5. Ah, no. Hidden Gem, Chained Echoes. No. I think Chained Echoes is nowadays one of the most popular indie RPGs of all time. It made a lot of noise. Everybody and their mom praised it. Everybody knows it. I haven't played it. I don't think it's a hidden gem. It's like Crosscode or Bastion. You know, I think they're very popular indie RPGs. Hidden trash, maybe Quest 64. I already have my candidates for the next video. I'll start writing my script next. Hey guys, I want to tell you about a new series that I'm still working. I'm still brainstorming this series. In fact, I planned it a few days ago, and I started brainstorming the series a few days ago, and I started writing the script yesterday, and I realized that it just needs more brainstorming. But I kind of want to do a documentary style of series, not in the classic documentary style. I got your back with some of the ones you wanted back. I only want Persona 2 back. Man, the one game that's like $200 nowadays. Oh man. Well, let's just say that I haven't decided what to do with this series, but I kind of want to go through the how every console did in terms of RPGs and RPGs in general. I'm not talking just JRPGs, like some Western RPGs in there too, some only in Japan games. Of course, the majority will be JRPGs because I know you guys prefer JRPGs like me, but I want to cover a Western RPG or two in those videos. And I hope you're looking forward to this series. It's a documentary style of series, but it's not going to be a long-ass documentary, you know. It's going to be a 20-something minutes, maybe 30 minutes for the big consoles. And just a retrospective, like some kind of retrospective. And I want to cover some more obscure games, some popular games, and some Western, some only in Japan games in there. And it's going to be like how what the impact these RPGs made with the console, how the console did with the RPGs, the history of it, you know, stuff like that. So it's probably not gonna get a lot of interest, the series, at first, but it'll grow on you, I'm sure. And I see that nobody gave a shit. Sealed Suikoden 2 costs more than $1,000. My copy of Suikoden 2 is not sealed. Did you like Blue Dragon? And would you want a sequel? Man, there are 2 sequels already on the Nintendo DS. Direct sequels. You didn't know? Well, now you do. Blue Dragon got 2 sequels on the Nintendo DS. It's Blue Dragon Plus. It's kind of lame. And then it got Awakened Dragon also on the Nintendo DS. And it's pretty good. It's an action RPG this time. It's pretty good. I don't know, Blue Dragon is such a curious case. You know, I mean, that's Hironobu Sakaguchi. That's the first game he did after leaving Square Enix. He made his own company, Mistwalker, and then he developed Blue Dragon, and he got a deal with Microsoft to release it exclusively on the 360, because Microsoft back then wanted to compete in the RPG market and wanted to get a lot of JRPGs. It failed. It tried though, but now the Xbox One has a lot of them, so I think Microsoft earned a place in the JRPG market, even though it can't really compete. It's never gonna beat PlayStation and Nintendo in terms of the genre, but you get the idea, right? So, I have no fucking idea what was Hironobu thinking when making a sequel exclusive to the Nintendo DS, not the Xbox One, not the Xbox 360, not PlayStation consoles, no, the Nintendo DS. And it wasn't a turn-based traditional style RPG anymore, it was a real-time strategy RPG. You know, like Final Fantasy XII, Revenant Wings, Heroes of Mana. You just tell you like freaking StarCraft. And it's kind of bad. The game's kind of bad. And then the sequel, the third game in the series, was released also exclusively on the Nintendo DS, and now it was an action RPG, and now with a customizable silent protagonist. It's pretty good. That's a pretty good game, but and then the series died off. Of course it died. What the hell? What the hell? You guys are still going on about Suikoden 2, and will you make a Yoko Taro game retrospective video? The guy doesn't have a lot of games. There's just like 4, right? Drakengard 1, Drakengard 3. He didn't do Drakengard 2. And then there's Nier and Nier Automata, and what else is there? Nah. I don't really like making retrospective videos on people or companies. I did one for Vanillaware, I remember, and it got a decent amount of views. I think it has like 30-something thousand views nowadays, but it's really old, like 5 years old. I find it more interesting to talk about the games themselves. The documentary idea is pretty cool. I look forward to it. Yeah, just don't expect it to be, you know, I'm not the gaming historian, okay? It's not gonna be like that, because I know it's not what my audience wants. They don't want me to start, PlayStation 2 was released, blah blah blah, and then assembled like this, and then this guy contributed this, and then no, we're talking about RPGs. So you guys want to see the RPG coverage, and hell, I want that too. So it's gonna focus on the RPGs released for the PlayStation, all kinds. The popular ones, the really obscure ones, the hidden gems, the launch titles maybe, the Japan, the ones that never came out of Japan, Western RPGs, you know. I want to do that with every console. Of course, I'm gonna start with the PlayStation 2, and then we'll move on from there. Yeah, we'll see. New hidden gem or hidden trash episode coming soon, guys. Hope you're looking forward to it. There's one game, it's gonna have one game, it's really freaking good. Really good, strongly recommended. We'll get there. No words from Penny Blood. It's just there, it's in development. If you want to know more, check out the Kickstarter website. I'm sure they update the website, the Kickstarter, and every now and then. But Penny Blood is gonna be released. They said it was gonna be released on 2025. So we're 2 years. I mean, we still have 2 years. You guys shouldn't worry about Penny Blood. Just join the Kickstarter if you want to. Give these guys money, enough money to make it a badass game. And that's it. No news on Penny Blood. I mean, it's in development. The end. Fantasian by Mistwalker is absolutely a hidden gem. I haven't played it because it was exclusive for phones. Everything from Mistwalker for the past 10 years has been exclusive for phones. I just can't believe that one of the developers, the video game personalities that I respected the most is nowadays, I mean, I don't know what to say. Hironobu Sakaguchi left Square Enix so he could have no more political bullshit on his back and make games the way he wanted to make the games. He wanted to have creative control, like Tetsuya Takahashi. Takahashi left before him because he was tired of Square Enix and its political crap. So he left, founded Monolith Soft, sided with Namco. It didn't work, and now he's with Nintendo. So he's still in the console market, and he's still creating these amazing games that sell a lot of money. I mean, that sell a lot of copies, make a lot of money. He's an icon. He's a well-respected man, a well-respected personality. Hironobu Sakaguchi, for whatever reason, he signed up with Microsoft. I'm not saying that was a mistake, because that was what he felt was the right thing to compete against PlayStation and Nintendo with Square Enix. But I don't know, man. I don't think it was a good move. I wish we could have, Lost Odyssey on PlayStation 4, Blue Dragon on PlayStation 4, other games. Because he then started making games exclusive to Nintendo DS, the Blue Dragon sequels, Way Shuffle Dungeon. Anybody heard of that game? That's a really fun game on the Nintendo DS. And then he created another series for the PS Vita, I think. And eventually he just started making mobile games. Oh, he made The Last Story for the Wii. So it seems like he got some kind of deal with Nintendo back then, like 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago. And it worked out for him back then. But nowadays, he's just making mobile games for phones. And he's been doing that for the past 10 years. It's just unbelievable how the creator of Final Fantasy in 1987, this guy saved his career because his career was about to end. That's why the game was called Final Fantasy, because it was supposed to be his final fantasy, his final story, his final game. And he made it, and he created the most popular JRPG series of all time. Right? That guy, Hironobu Sakaguchi. And that guy created amazing game after amazing game, masterpiece after masterpiece. And even when leaving Squaresoft, he still created a bunch. Lost Odyssey is a masterpiece. The Last Story is an excellent game, And now this very same guy, this highly influential guy, highly super important video game personality, one of the biggest, most popular and well-respected video game personalities in the entire world, is doing nothing but mobile games. How can you... maybe a lot of fans are still his fans and respect the guy. I don't. I can't respect someone who's doing nothing but that, but gacha games, but mobile games, it's just no, man. How do you go from one of the best masterminds in JRPGs to this? It's just fucking pathetic, man. It's pathetic. That guy's just history, man. He needs to come back to the console market. Please, Sakaguchi, do something. Maybe use all that money you've gotten for the mobile games, to do something, to make a huge comeback. But it's like he just gave up. Sorry about the rant, guys. He was one of my idols. I really looked up to that guy, and he's just, no respect for Sakaguchi anymore. Sakaguchi to me is like Konami. It's like fucking Konami, man. I don't respect Sakaguchi anymore. It's like he cares way more about the money than his passion. It's sad. Anyway, we're listening to Radiant Historia. We need a Switch port. We do need a Switch port. Have you played Eversoul? No. I wouldn't say Fantasia is a gacha game. I know. Didn't I say that he's just making gacha games or mobile games? Not every mobile game is gacha, I know that. But why is he there? Nobuo Uematsu is composing music for Grand... Well, Nobuo Uematsu also left Squaresoft a long time ago. You know, all the big guys left Squaresoft, remember? Tetsuya Takahashi, Masato Kato, Nobuo Uematsu, Hironobu Sakaguchi. All the great minds left a company that was clearly heading for something political, and it just fucking did. Ruined Final Fantasy. Anyway, so Uematsu's a freelancer, so he's done a lot of compositions for a lot of games, including mobile games. Or at least Nobuo Uematsu is still doing something for the console market. Miss Walker making games for the wrong platforms. Well, yeah, that was the whole point of my rant. But yeah, it's just an opinion, right? I mean, I'm not saying Hironobu Sakaguchi, you are wrong. No, he's probably right. But I mean, yeah. Are you a Star Wars fan, Eric? No, I'm not. Nope, not really. I watched a few movies. I grew up with Star Wars. But no, I wouldn't call myself a fan. Not really. What people are even left at Square? Your friend Tetsuya Nomura is still there. This guy. Who is Squaresoft right now? This guy. This guy is Square Enix. This guy. This guy, man. This guy. These guys, Tetsuya, I'm gonna put in my face. There we go. Square Enix, my man. This fucking guy, man. That's Square Enix for you. I'm just being dumb. What do you think about Platinum after Nier Automata? What? Platinum Games. It went downhill. Well, didn't they do Bayonetta, the new one, the latest one? I haven't played it, but I played Astral Chain, which was released like 3 years ago. That was a really good game. I loved Astral Chain. Pretty convoluted game. It's really hard to get into Astral Chain. My God, man. It took me hours to get into Astral Chain, but it's a pretty good game. I don't know what they did after Astral Chain other than the new Bayonetta. So I can't say if they went downhill. What else did they do? What is your take on Q-Lite? What is that? I don't know what Q-Lite it is. Isn't Kitase still there? Kitase is still there. He's the goody two shoes. Kitase didn't have the balls to quit Square. Or maybe he believed in their ideals. You know, they believed in the new direction that the company was headed 20 years ago. He co-wrote Final Fantasy VII, right? Astral Chain 2, please. Oh, Q-Lite is the next Sony's next handheld. Has it been confirmed yet? I heard rumors about it. I don't watch boxing. Do you think they'll remake or remaster the old Dragon Quest games that haven't already been done? Probably. If Dragon Quest 3, which is being remade, succeeds, I think their next game is probably gonna be either 2 or 4, or the first one. However, the first one is kind of tricky because Dragon Quest 1, it wasn't as story driven as its followers, as its follow-ups. Dragon Quest 2 was more story driven, 3, 4, etc. But the first one was more about the gameplay, like, hey, here's your sword, your money, go save the princess, and that's it. It's a bare bones game. It didn't age well, in my opinion, the first Dragon Warrior. Iconic game, sure, but it's just a game that it's just kind of there, it's bare bones. So if they were to remake that game or remaster, they will have to add more content. I don't know. I think it will sell, but just not as much. I mean, look what Fire Emblem. Look what Nintendo and Intelligent Systems did with Fire Emblem, the first one. They made a remake on the Nintendo DS, which was better. But then, like 10 years later, they released a remaster, officially translated to English, of the first Fire Emblem on the NES. And that's all they did. It's nothing special. You play it and it's like, oh, okay, Nintendo, this game has been fan translated for a long time. So I think, yeah, you get the point, right? I mean, Dragon Quest, it's just, they need to do something extra. I think a remake will be great, adding more content, more story maybe. I don't know, give more dialogue to some characters. I don't know what they could do. But yeah, I think if Dragon Quest 3, the remake, succeeds, I'm pretty sure that they're either moved to the second game or the fourth game, etc. I mean, 4, 5, and 6 have already been remade. They are on the PS2, I think. Never came out of Japan. And the versions we got are the Nintendo DS versions, which are remakes. 4 and 5 got positive reviews. 6 was kind of a mixed bag. And then 7 came to the 3DS. 8 came to the 3DS, but 8 was not a remake. It was merely a remaster, a port, an expanded port to the 3DS with new characters. There's 2 playable characters in there. So now all that is left is 9, right? 10 was online and we never got it. On 9, probably on the Switch, right? I don't know what Square is gonna do with the older Dragon Quest games. I personally would like to see ports of 4, 5, and 6 on the Switch. That would be bonkers. I want to play 5. Really want to play 5. And yeah, the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 are remakes on the Super Nintendo and on the Game Boy Color, actually, but they're just ports. I mean, it's the same game. There's barely anything, new. But anyway, you get the idea, I'm going in circles. I'm trying to say that I'm looking forward to Dragon Quest 3 remake, and if it's good, I'd like Square Enix to remake 2, 4, 5, and 6 maybe in that same style. Because they're using the HD 2D engine, right? The one for Octopath Traveler, which is fucking beautiful. So there you go. Dragon Quest 5 is on the Nintendo DS, yes. And it's not only in Japan, it's everywhere. So is 4 and 5 and 6. Is Earthbound overrated to you? I did include Earthbound in my most overrated JRPGs video that I did like 6 years ago. You know what? Yes. The answer is yes, I think it's overrated. It's just not as popular as Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VI, but it's one of the most popular JRPGs on the Super Nintendo. It's a cult classic, I mean, people love it, but I don't think it's that good of a game. If overrated means that something is not as good as they say, in my opinion, then yes, Earthbound is overrated. Kaladin Kabara, thank you for the donation. If you could date any JRPG character... No, man. You have no idea what you just unleashed right now. There's gonna be a waifu war right now, waifu comments. We always get into this. You paid for this question, so I gotta answer it. Who would it be? If you got into a bar fight, what JRPG character will you choose to have your back? Okay, here we go, guys, with your waifu wars. If I could date any JRPG character, who would it be? I will probably date, man. I will date, Mai from Dead End Request 2. Because that's the game I'm currently playing. I will date her. She said she's, I don't know, I don't know, there's something about her that I really like. I really like her. And I think, you know, we will get along, right? Because we're both dark. And, you know, we have a dark sense of humor. And we're kind of like hate humanity, kind of misanthropists in a way. And, well, in terms of personality, I'm more outgoing and social and charismatic maybe than her. So, because when you put two charismatic people together, you know, they clash. Yeah, I will date her. That's my answer. I don't give a shit. I could pick another girl that is 10 times hotter than me, than my. But that's my pick. But unfortunately, I'm 37 years old, and dating a girl who's like 16 or 17, that would make me a pedophile. And since 9 out of 10 JRPG characters are on their teens, I can't answer your question, man, or else, you know, I'm gonna go to jail. There you go. Look what you unleashed, man. What was the other question? If you got into a bar fight, I've never gotten into a bar fight in my life. But anyway, what JRPG character will you choose to have your back? I don't know. Auron from Final Fantasy X. Auron from Final Fantasy X. I mean, can I really pick a bigger badass than Auron from Final Fantasy X? 16 is a legal age in Japan? Yeah, then I will date Mai. Jade from Dragon Quest XI, she's too much of a badass for me. I don't think she will date me. Mitsuru from Persona 3, she will never date a guy like me. She has high standards, man. Imagine a girl in real life like Mitsuru dating a YouTuber, an independent author and writer. I mean, come on. I am Mitsuru, man, come on. I would love to date Mitsuru. I love her. She's my favorite girl. Oh, you know what? I will date Makoto. I will date Makoto from Persona 5. She's my girl. I mean, yeah. We will be a good match. Definitely, Makoto. Oh, yeah. But right now, I'm playing Dead End Request 2, so I'm sticking with my... I'm 37 years old. I may not look that young, but I am. Give us Radiata Story, PS2, Square Enix. You mean give Radiata Stories on the PS4 and Switch? I agree. Couldn't agree more. Jessica from Dragon Quest 8. No, man, she's kind of a tsundere. She has this explosive personality. And man, that cleavage, that will drive me nuts, man. No. I would be like, no, cover yourself up, please, you know, because I know every fucking man in the planet will be staring at her tits, and I don't know. I will date Laura from Trails of Cold Steel. She probably wouldn't be interested in a guy like me, because I don't know how to fight with a sword, and I have no interest in martial arts. But maybe, right? Maybe Laura. Sarah will probably date me, but she's way too sexualized for my taste. I will be like, no. And yeah, I think the sexualization of Sarah is like part of her personality. I mean, you can't take that away from her. She wouldn't be Sarah anymore. That drunk bastard. I mean, I love her, but she wouldn't date me. Tifa. Can I be honest? Tifa is one of the hottest characters. She's one of the sexiest characters alive. in JRPGs. But I also think she's a bit of a bland character. Tear Grant from Tales of the Abyss. I will date her. I don't oh man, woo! High five, Maria fan. Maria Traidor from Star Ocean 3. I fucking love her, man. That's one of my favorite Star Ocean characters. I fucking love her. She will probably never date me, but I will definitely date her. Oh man, I love Maria. I love Tear too. Why are we talking about this? You know, why do we always end up talking about the waifus? God damn it! Enough. Please ask me something that's not waifu related. You look like you're in your late 20s. Well, thanks, man. It's because I just shaved. Before the stream, I would have looked like a 40-year-old man. I was like, man. I'm gonna make a generic video called 10 JRPGs we need on Switch/PS4. You bet your ass Radiata Stories is gonna be there. Thank you, Eikichi. What is your ideal turn-based combat? What type of system can be perfect for you? Man, there's a lot of really amazing turn-based battle systems out there. It's just hard. I like simple turn-based combat with a twist. You know, like Shadow Hearts, for example. Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, you know. I love Shin Megami Tensei. I don't know why I thought about Shin Megami Tensei right now. No, Final Fantasy X is just too simple. It's a good system. I like the battle system in Final Fantasy X, but it's just too simple. It's back then was a big deal. Nowadays it's like generic as fuck. Trails of Cold. The Trail series have an interesting battle system where you can just move around and position your characters. The compiled hard RPGs are like that. You know, the Dead and Request games. That's a really fantastic battle system. You attack your enemies and you just send them flying across the battlefield. And they bump into each other, and if they bump into your characters, you can just re-bump them again. I love that battle system. But the press turn system in SMT is just awesome. Man, with a little bit of strategy, maybe, you know, Wild Arms 4 and 5. I think the hexagonal system was great, but it was a little bit more on the strategy side. Man, it's a tough question, man. I'm not gonna say Chrono Cross. You know what? I love the battle system in Chrono Cross, but that freaking RNG thing always bothered me. Like, what was the point of it? Actually, I don't like that specific thing in Chrono Cross. I mean, you guys know me, I'm a die-hard Chrono Cross fan, but I don't hate it, but I was like, man, was it really necessary, you know, to add this percentage per attack? You know, the higher the attack, the lower the accuracy. Vinland Saga, I love that anime. I love that anime humor. The first season was amazing. The second season, which is currently streaming on Netflix, it's okay. I kind of lost interest. I watched like 5 episodes, and there's like 3 episodes that I haven't watched yet, and I'm going to, of course. But I don't know, man. The first season of Vinland Saga, masterpiece, man. That you guys need to watch Vinland Saga. Although the ending is kind of disappointing. Nowhere near as mind fucking disappointing as Monster. I am so sorry, guys, but that anime just the ending ruined it for me. But Vinland Saga, well, Monster is still worth watching, I guess, because the journey, the anime, the story itself, you know, but it all builds up to that ending. And have you played the Metabots RPG games? Gungrave, thanks a bunch, man. What is AED? Where are you from? The Metabot sucks, man. I've only played 2. I think I played one on... Was it the DS? No. Game Boy Advance, maybe? No, it was mediocre. But the one on the GameCube, the Metabots Infinity on the GameCube, is one of the worst RPGs I've played in my life. Attack on Titan, that's a great anime. I love it. People say it's overrated. I love it. United Arab Emirate. Oh. But then what does AED stand for? Like Arab? Well, anyway, thanks for the donation, buddy. Do you watch Demon Slayer? Nope. That anime has been recommended to me a lot. My brother is a big fan of that. I'll probably watch it. I don't read manga. You know, you want to know one of the reasons why I don't read comic books or manga? Because you open the page, the 2 pages, right? And you got all these drawings in there. And I just can't help it. I'm supposed to start reading from here. Well, I'm guessing manga is the other way around, right? You gotta start reading from the left. From the right. And I just can't help but look at the other drawings in the other page. So I'm constantly, spoiling myself. I can't help it. I mean, that's one reason why I don't read manga or comic books. That's one reason. But the other one is because, I'd rather read a book. Because I'm more of using my imagination for everything and seeing the drawings, the steel drawings. I mean, it's cool and all, but I just don't find comic books appealing. I'd love to make one either way. Write a story and somebody else drawing the characters stuff. I'd love to do that, to collaborate with a manga artist. I made a visual novel about 12 years ago using Gaia Online sprite characters. I made a visual novel. Believe it or not, it's not a video game. It's just a series that you can watch. And you can't watch it anymore because it's private. Because I used a lot of licensed music. 9 Inch Nails, Fear Factory, Deftones, The Cure. And of course, I got a million copyright claims. I need a remake of that visual novel. It's called the Sephira Project. Berserk is amazing, man. I love it. I love the anime series. Even the one that nobody cares for. Erick Landon stories with Claymore art. Oh man. I love Claymore, man. Claymore is my second favorite anime series of all time. Or in the style of Bloodborne. Oh man. Bloodborne, that's a really good looking game. Code Vein. I always feel like Code Vein was more of a love letter to Bloodborne than Dark Souls. I mean, in the end, technically speaking, it's the same, right? But I just feel I played Code Vein, and I always felt it was more on the Bloodborne side of things. Last questions, guys. Elfen Lied. You know, Elfen Lied, it's not live. By the way, it's Latin, so it's Lied. Elfen Lied. That was an extremely popular anime back in, I think it's a 2002 anime, right? Very popular, and people just forgot about it. Why? Because it's incorrect. Because there's a lot of nudity in there, a lot of blood and gore and shit, and no, that's offensive. So it's kind of somebody said it's underrated. Maybe not underrated, more like forgotten. More like it used to be extremely popular and nowadays people don't talk about it. I love Elfen Lied. I love Lucy like anybody else on this planet. Huh. Have you watched that Thunderbolt Fantasy? Nope. Shiki? Shiki sounds Shiki, isn't that like a ghost, like with ghosts and shit, and an idol in there? Like I kind of watched a couple of episodes, and I was like, Escaflowne? Good anime. That's a really old one. That's not a forgotten anime. Let your beard grow 1 year, man. You'll see like you look like ZZ Top. When will Nihon Falcom become a AAA studio? Well, sales for Falcom games have been on the rise for the past few years. Falcom is a company that has way more money now than one they did 10 years ago. I mean, 10 years ago it was still an obscure company. Nobody fucking knew the Trails games. Nobody knew the Ys games. Even though those series have been there since the 80s. I mean, the Trails series started all the way back in the 80s with Dragon Slayer and the Xanadu series, and then it evolved into the Legend of Heroes, and it's a long story, but yeah. I think Falcom nowadays has way more money. Maybe not enough to be a AAA company. Okay, so if you guys want Falcom to be AAA, you better buy their fucking games, man. Ergo Proxy is my favorite anime of all time. Sherman, you can post your Twitch link. Do you think Ys 10 will release worldwide this calendar year? No. I highly doubt it. I hope so. I really hope so. But let's be realistic, man. It's not gonna happen. We're not getting Ys 10 this year. I really hope they prove me wrong. But I don't think we'll get it this year. Do you recommend Ys 9? Yes, I do. I strongly recommend Ys 9, man. That's my favorite Ys game of all time. I fucking love Ys 9, man. Yes, I do, very much. Recommend it. Oh yeah, the boss battle theme from Final Fantasy IV. Alright guys, that's it for today's question. Yeah, my brother's here. He's waiting for me downstairs. I told him to come over to 10 p.m. 10 past 10. 10 past 2. Whatever. Thanks a bunch for joining this stream. I had a blast as always. I hope you guys had a great time. And I'll see you on the next one. Hidden Gem or Hidden Trash new episode coming soon. Don't miss it. And if you care about my books, link in the description. Oh yeah!